Well, loads of great stuff going on with the channel at the moment and a load of really interesting things upcoming as well. So I thought I'd start 2022 with a little vlog style video to give everybody a bit of an update. Well, hello again and welcome back to my channel, and a very happy new year to everyone, and I hope you managed to have a nice relaxing time over the holidays. Now, somewhere hopefully coming up the screen is a little bit of a content of what this vlog video is going to be all about. So if you're only interested in one particular thing, then feel free to skip towards it, or you might want to stick with me and stick to the end. So let's go with number one. Well, I thought I'd start number one with a channel update because over the last few weeks things are starting to get a little bit interesting, and it's all down to my Pedestal Tracksaw Kickback video that I released on Christmas Eve. Now, just to give you a little bit of a context, when I release a video, on average, between the first week to 2 weeks, it'll get about 1,000 views. Obviously, some that do better, like painting the OSB walls, that's doing really well at the moment. Some of the tool reviews go down really well. But the Kickback video has had just over 16,000 views at the moment, and what that's done is it's brought a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and welcome to you all, and also then people starting to look into my back catalogue. So my analytics, or views if you like, are really on an upward trajectory at the moment. So thank you very much for supporting me and joining the channel, old and new, and I really appreciate your comments and your feedback, particularly in the Tracksaw video, because I was really hesitant as to whether to release it or not, because but if you followed me for a while, you know I will always show my mistakes, and I kind of pride myself on my honesty, and the feedback has been fantastic in the comments, because people just pointing out where things were going wrong, things I hadn't even thought of, and tips and guidance for the future. So that's what it's all about. And it also looks like I'm not the only person who has suffered Tracksaw kickback, so I'm hopeful that people look at that, look at the comments, and make those necessary adjustments for the future. Okay, number two, new stuff, and I'm actually having to make notes on my iPad for this so I don't actually forget some of the things that have actually come in. Oh, just in regards to new stuff which is not related to the workshop, I'm trying out some new lights and a bit of a boom arm for my microphone, so I would appreciate any feedback in the comments whether you think the lighting's better or you think, oh my god, what have you done to yourself? Just to let me know for future videos and for future reference so I can take it on board. Right. A rite of passage, really, I think, for a lot of YouTube content creators in the woodworking world is the FedEx bandsaw. Yes, I got an alert from Peter Millard a while back, a couple of months ago, to say they are back in store, and I made the leap and bought one. I haven't even had a chance to unbox it yet because I've had so many things going on at the moment. My big English U copper resin top, which got delivered the day before New Year's Eve. Check out my Instagram account if you want to see it in its new home. Very, very proud of that project indeed. So yeah, at some point I need to unbox that bandsaw, and I need to build a stand for it as well, which brings me on to my second point, which is from Stu Parker Creations. Now, I done a short video on Stu's kill switch for the Evolution Rage 5S table saw, which a video that went really well. I thought it was a brilliant idea. The simple design made the table saw so much safer to use, and Stu's done well, I think, on that. I think he's managed to sell quite a few of those kill switches. Well, he's also doing one of these now. You've probably seen this on 10-Minute Workshop's Christmas gift, which is a stop switch for the FedEx bandsaw, and he's also done a zero clearance insert plate for it as well. So if you have one of them, I'll leave a link in the description to Stu's Etsy page. Please check it out. Also, he does, obviously I say, he does accessories for the Evolution Rage 5S, and I think for the DeWalt table saws as well. But also, if you have a Trend T33A dust extractor like I have, he does a few little really neat gadgets for that, particularly for wrapping the hose around. So yeah, check out Stu's stuff. That's some of the new stuff I've been using. Oh, what are we on to next? Yes, well, the Trend gear. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I entered a collaboration with Trend just over a year ago now. Started looking, using some of their abrasives, and it was a fantastic opportunity for me, because prior to actually entering this sort of collaboration, I was buying Trend gear, the face mask, the angle finder, the digital angle gauge and all that, and I've always been impressed with their stuff. So they have the opportunity to try out some of their newer stuff, for me, has been a pleasure. Now, I have been using the T18S Cordless range, the new stuff, really impressed with this, which is the 1/4 inch handheld router, the impact driver, the drill driver. I've even got the sight light at the moment, which I've been making really good use of, and I'm really impressed. I'm in on that single battery thing. I think they've done a great range. I think it's at a really good price. Obviously, it's not budget price like you'd get with, say, Aldi or Lidl, but it's a much better product than them, and it's priced below, I'd say, the actual, what we might class as the ultra premium brands, you know, like the Walt, Milwaukee, those kind of things. So if you are interested, do check them out. Now, I've noticed some of my fellow YouTube content creators and people who I follow, Matt at Badger Workshop, Thomas at Casual DIY, Stu at Proper DIY, have also received some of the new trend gear. So it'll be really interesting to see what they have to say. Now, I have had it intimated in 1 or 2 comments along the lines of, well, you've been given this for free, of course you're going to say nice things. And I just want to clarify the difference between a collaboration and a sponsorship. Now, I am in a collaboration, and yes, I have been sent these for free, I have been gifted them, but I am free to say whatever I want about these products. That's why I like that kind of setup. If it was a sponsorship, I probably would have been given a script and told to say nice things. So long-term subscribers will know as well, I think I pride myself on my honesty. I always show my mistakes in my builds. I always tell it as it is. So when I am saying sort of things like this, it is from the heart and it's not from a script. So you can take it how you want in that way. But I do like, you know, I have been a fan of Trend Gear before I entered this collaboration. I said I was always buying some of their stuff. So yeah, I do like it. I've been working with it for quite a while now. And what I have got as well, and I'm really looking forward to setting up and using, is the WRT router table. Okay, it's in a box in the corner. I haven't had a chance to get at it yet because the resin project that was going on, and I've got a few other bits and pieces, but I'm really looking forward to getting that opened, unboxed, and some exciting stuff for content in the future with that one. Number 3, quick workshop update. Well, the majority of things are done. It's down to the small jobs now, which are probably going to have to wait until the spring. Externally, all I've got to do is box in the corners and the windows and around the door as well, but I'm going to wait until the weather gets a little bit better. I've boxed in that window because Pedestal Knight, who's one of my subscribers by the way, kept going on that he was doing in his OCD that you could see all the expanded foam around it. So that one's for you, Pedestal. The other 2 haven't been done yet. And yeah, so that's all kind of sorted out. Now, one thing I would like to ask for maybe a little bit of feedback, a little bit of help, as you know I like to do, is in regards to the actual internal. Now, a few questions have been asked, particularly in relation to the insulated roof panels. I've had a couple of comments, and even one from a subscriber of mine, Mike Blackmore, saying, have I had any issues with condensation inside the workshop? Now, I haven't had any condensation at all since I've moved into here, since it was all closed up and the door on and everything. That's not been a problem for me whatsoever. Now, that's either brilliant, it was a fantastic piece of engineering and assembly, or one thing I'm slightly concerned about is it's all internal OSB walls. Now, am I not getting any condensation because the OSB is absorbing the moisture, and will that cause me any problems further down the line? I don't think so. I can't see, you know, there's no issues. I don't see any swelling in the wall or anything, but I'd be interested in your input on that. So what do you think? Not a drop of condensation, not a drop of moisture in here. It does have some kind of ventilations, you know, around the door and where the drawbridge is. There's a little gap which I purposefully had there, but where it goes up in the cladding, so it is, you know, does have ventilation in here. But it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts about that, because I don't want to be storing problems for further down the line, if that makes sense. Okay, number 4, upcoming content. I am currently in the middle of filming a comparison video between this, the Merkur Dios, which is a 3mm orbit sander, against this, which is the Festool RTS 400 REQ. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I've had this on loan from Merkur since I think it's last August. But I've been using both on different projects. Now, it's going to be like my comparison between the Dios and the ETS EC150. It's not like I think you should go and buy this one. I just want to show you some how different applications between the two and how they work similar in some ways and very different in other ways. So yeah, that's an upcoming one. It's not going to be out for a few weeks, that, because I've still got a few little experiments to do with it, but I'm currently in the middle of filming for that one. What else have we got on the go? Well, now that the English U Resin project has gone to its new home and in its pride of place in the lounge dining area of my customer, I need to build, as a matter of urgency, my new workbench. All right, that's my priority really. So that's going to start next weekend, and I'll be filming that process. In the middle of the workbench, I was very kindly sent last year from one of my subscribers, David Atkinson, an MFT top. Now, I haven't had a chance to use it at all because that's when I'd started the actual assembly of the workshop, so just haven't had a chance to do that yet. But my idea is I'm gonna have to use old money here. My work top is gonna be around approximately 7 foot by 3 foot, but the MFT bit I'm gonna put in the middle. So I've got non-MFT bits either side of it and some behind it as well. Now, again, let me know what you think about that, because most times when I see MFTs, they're either exclusively an MFT or to the side, to the right-hand side or to the left-hand side. But I'd actually like to put it in the middle, because the idea of having normal worktop space either side kind of appeals to me. But there might be a downside to that I haven't actually thought of. The design itself is going to be really simple. It's going to be on casters. I'm going to do L-shaped 2x4 legs around the side. It's going to have a shelf in the middle underneath, hopefully nice and sturdy. I'm buying the 2x4 because I've run out of that, and I'm going to be using 18mm ply. That originally was going to be the flooring for the workshop, but because it got a little bit water damaged under the tarps 12 months ago, it's still perfectly usable, and it's going to be fine for my my workbench, sorry. So that's going to be the last of that for my workbench project. Also in here as well, which I'm probably going to do this weekend, I bought some of them some of those garage metal shelving things. So I'm going to be using that for storage, and I'm also going to put a nice big shelf across the back for tools that I don't use very often. Some of my work zone stuff, like my electric planer. I've got my old work zone Tracksaw there, but I'm still going to keep hold of those things, but I want them to go kind of up and towards the back. And now I've got some brilliant wood from, I'll leave a link in the description, Lancashire Timber Reclamation Yard, and it's 2.4 meters of 9x2. It's treated as well, £15 each. Really chunky, really good stuff. So I'm probably going to be using that for the shelving, and I've got some of those wrought iron, you know, they call them rustic ones, don't they? So that's going to be using for them. So I might do a little bit of a video for that. Oh, what else have we got on the go? Oh yeah, I've got this beautiful piece of walnut here. Just got a little picture for you now. Now I am going to do a resin walnut coffee table with this. Now what I'd like to know is what colour resin would you think would go well with that? Because copper, which is the one I used on my last one, I don't think so. Don't think it'd work well. I'm thinking like bronze, or like a metallic bronze. So let me know in the comments what you think could go well with that, because it's a beautiful piece of wood. It'd make a very nice coffee table. Got an idea for the legs and stuff as well. So yeah, always appreciate your input, always appreciate your feedback, and I haven't even started that one yet. So your feedback might help guide me in terms of how it's going to look in its finishing one. Oh, and also what have I got to do? You might have seen a previous video. I have very fortunately, I've got a Festool Capex KS60 with the UG, the extending wings, the arms. It's basically a portable miter saw station. Now I am going to build some under storage for under where the wings go, because at the moment it's just kind of wasted space in here, and I want to make better use of storage space for that under there. So that's going to be an upcoming project as well, and there's going to be 1,000,001 things in here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it where we're at for that one. So let's go on to number 5. Okay, just a quick update on previous projects, because I always say I'll come back to things and you never know what quite the right time to do that kind of stuff. So a vlog video is ideal. First one is the guttering installation on the back. Went really well, that, and it's held up very well indeed. The actual mesh that I put over the top of the gutters worked fantastically well. Just a word of warning if you're thinking of doing it. I got the large, I think it's 210 litre tub, and it filled in no time. Okay, I have to keep draining it because obviously it's 7.3 meters long. The guttering's a little bit longer than that. And yeah, it fills up literally in no time. The actual roof in itself has been brilliant. The insulated roof panels, people were saying about would leaves clog up the actual bit where it runs off. I've had to clear out a little bit, some leaves and stuff, and I've got 2 trees either side, so obviously I've lived through an autumn with it now. Twice I've had to go up there and just take out some leaves to stop to make sure that actually drains through fine. Nothing major, but if you have done the insulated roof panels and you've done those kind of flashings, you do need to be kind of just keep an eye on it more than anything. I don't think it's going to cause you any problems, but just make sure there's no clogging going on with those. What else have we got? Yeah, the Reloink camera, that was a video that I've done recently. Again, that was gifted to me. It's actually a really good system. It's a budget camera, if you like. What is really good is the solar panel. Since putting it up, it's been up quite a while now, I've not had to change the battery or charge the battery at all. The solar panel, even though we've not had much sun, I'm in the northwest of England, by the way, it's held it fine. And the actual setting up on the app and the screen thing on your phone, it works really well. It's a good system. I'd recommend it if you're after some kind of budget CCTV for your workshop or your back garden or something like that. That's good. The Kerowin decking, yeah, it was for the hot tub. The 2 videos didn't do too well, to be honest, but I'm going to call them a slow burner. Hopefully things get a bit better. But I would say to you about the Kerowin decking that this stuff is, a far superior product to the actual standard decking thing. So it does need a little bit of working. Like I actually trimmed off the overlaps and I routed some grooves underneath it. I sanded it at 80 grit before I put it was Cuprinol UV decking protection oil that I put on it. But people were saying about, be careful about the grip of it because it's going to get slippy. Well, we've had some really bad weather recently and stuff, and the grip on it is really good. It's a great product. Obviously it's so much easier to buy the off-the-shelf stuff, but this is just basically, as far as I know, treated softwood and degrees of quality, shall we say, with this. So if you do manage to spot some of this stuff, and the price I think could be about the same because of the cost of timber and stuff, you don't need me to explain that to you. So it might be worth an investigation if you think you're doing a raised decking. Certainly for the hot tub, the drainage with the gaps in between has been great. I don't see any issues at all with the DPC stuff I put on. People tell me about Charlie DIY's video, and I did look at those, but Charlie acknowledged himself when he put the DPC on, he put it underneath the actual joist, so of course that was going to hold the water, whereas mine's gone over the top. So the runoff between the gaps and the Kerowin board is just running onto that DPC, which is just running off and not touching the joist timbers at all. There's plenty of airflow going through it because of the StrataRise feet. These things, which I built my workshop on these and the raised deck as well. So I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to regularly check it. I'll come back and I'll tell you in a year, I think it's going on. So that's gone really well. So yeah, the updates on it, the Kerowin decking on the front looks beautiful on my workshop. It really is a standout feature. I'm so glad I went for that in the end. I do like the shiplap stuff I've got around the side. It serves a function, it looks nice, but it is a real feature wall that on the front, and I'm glad it blends in well as well, so it doesn't kind of stand out, shock all the neighbours or anything. So yeah, that's worked out really well. And also I'll do updates of previous videos in future vlogs. Number 6, and a great one to finish with, I think, which is what I'm currently watching. Now, at the end of my last video, my English U and copper resin video, I went on a little bit of a rant about disability and some of the things I'm seeing since, unfortunately, becoming disabled now nearly 4 years ago, about disabled folk just not getting a fair crack of the whip in terms of employment, in terms of opportunities. Now, if you are a business person, and I said this before, if you've got a medium-sized business or a large business, please look at, in the UK, please look at becoming what's called a disability confident employer, which is a government initiative. You can self-sign up for it. And it's there to help give disabled folk just a chance. That's all people are asking for. People with disabilities, they're not after pity. They're not after, being felt sorry for. They just want to be treated as an equal and being given a chance. You know, we live in a world that's not designed for disabled people, it's designed for able-bodied people. So disabled folk are incredible problem solvers. You know, I don't know whether I was good at problem solving before I become disabled, but I see from some of your comments when people talk about, oh, I never thought of doing something like that. I'm going to start doing that now. The classic one being the way I use super glue and activator spray for putting up things like shelf brackets and stuff. They go, I never thought of that. I'm going to start doing that myself. So it becomes a problem, you know, your mind becomes a problem solving mind. It consumes a lot more energy, by the way. But I do think in terms of the workplace, you know, disabled folk have got a real important part to play in that. So please, you know, if you are business people out there, think about that. And this one I'm watching is exclusively going to be about disabilities today, because I've found I've been watching some fantastic stuff. First one I want to talk about is a guy called Dean, who has a channel called Woodwork Journey. Now, Dean suffers with chronic fibromyalgia, and he also suffers with a specific condition of spondylitis. And I've been picked up and been following his content really. And I'll leave a link in the description for Dean. He's got some great stuff on the go. You know, it's going to be making projects. He's got an idea for his future content about just not a beginner woodworker, but someone starting, well, yeah, suppose starting out and making stuff. And can they make not a living, but can they, you know, make a profit from making things and actually channeling that in a kind of documentary style. So I'm looking forward to that. He's got some good videos about, you know, ideas for gifts for under 20 quid, that kind of stuff. And he also openly talks about his condition as well, which I think is brilliant. You know, I think a lot of disabled folk try to hide things in the, you know, virtual world, shall we say, the world of social media. So Dean's being open and honest about what he suffers with. So please go over to Dean's channel and check it out. Secondly, I'd like to talk about my YouTube friend Daffith, who is the Deaf Maker. Now, Daffith does have a YouTube channel. He's not put any content out for a while. I know why, it's been about a year since he's put any content out, but he is very active in the world of social media, particularly on Instagram. And I'll leave a link to Daffith's Instagram account. So, you know, sign up, follow him, because he's doing stuff in his workshop at the moment. I think his most recent thing is about doing some woodwork storage. He's very active in that, and he gets involved in the comments and things. Really, really funny guy. And he's also, this is a plea to content creators, if you're watching any of this video, little conversations I've had with Daffith, that if you are going to do any pop-ups or anything like that on your videos, please make sure you put them across the top and not down here, because obviously with the subtitles, it affects deaf people trying to follow the subtitles, but not also deaf people, also people who English is a second language, so they're reliant on some of those things. And particularly maybe with my accent, people who have English as a first language might need the subtitles. So yeah, if you're going to put any kind of pop-ups or anything, you know, so you're putting some description stuff, I've always been guilty of it, putting across the top. My recent videos have started and putting up along here, so please do that. So yeah, get in touch with Daffith on social media and have a look at his YouTube channel as well. Now, the final one I want to talk about is a guy called Andy King. Now, excuse me on this one. Now, Andy is the is the one-armed woodworker. All right. Now, I got in touch with Andy, or Andy got in touch with me about 18 months ago. He started out a YouTube channel. Now, Andy had his arm amputated because of cancer, and he's got his little workshop set up, and he did some truly inspirational stuff. You know, I got in touch with him. I've had a few little interactions with him online, and he's got about 5 or 6 videos, and again, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, check out some of Andy's stuff. It's brilliant. Now, I was trying to reach out to Andy because I wanted to check with him first whether it was okay with this video, and I'd seen he hadn't put any content out for a little while, so I went back to his channel. Now, unfortunately, Andy's lost his battle with cancer over the summer last year, but his family have kept his YouTube channel open as a potential inspiration to fellow one-armed woodworkers in the future, which I think's an incredible thing to do. Now, I haven't had a chance to reach out to any of his family because I won't be able to get in touch. Now, if they're not happy about me talking about this, then I'm more than happy to take this video down. But I think it's a beautiful thing that they've done. I think it's an amazing thing for people to go and have a look. Please do. You know, I mean, it's on there for people to look, and it might be, you know, inspiring for generations. You know, it could be on there for the next 10, 20 years, and people with a disability going, well, I've only got, you know, one arm, I can't do woodworking. Andy's channel, you know, it's inspiring to see, and hopefully, you know, if more people that see it can go and have a look at it, you know, Andy's memory can live on. You know, that's in people who see the content that he put out there. So brilliant, check that one out. You know, so Andy, the one-arm woodworker, Andy King, Dean, Woodwork Journey, and Daffith, the deaf maker. So I think that's pretty much it for this one, folks. So thanks for watching. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.